Okay, good afternoon, everybody. I am Werner de Wit. I am the coordinator of the UNESCO Chair for Intercultural Competence, and it's really wonderful to have all of you here today. Just a few logistical notes for today. We will be recording this session, and it will be available on our website afterwards. So if you do not wish to be or have your facing, you are welcome to keep your camera off. But please feel free to switch on your camera if you would like to. We will be answering questions, a Q&A at the end of the session. So please feel free to pop any of your questions throughout the session in the chat, and we will then answer any of those questions as we go along. And then lastly, we would really like to take a group photo. So if everybody can, at the end of the session, before we do Q&A, we'll have a moment where we'll put on the cameras and then we'll take a group photo right then. Yes, so I would like to, without further ado, introduce our chair, holder of the UNESCO Chair of Intercultural Competence, Dr. Darla Deerdorf. And Darla, you're welcome to take over.
Thank you so much, Werner, and welcome to all of you from all over the world coming in today. And before we continue, it is my great pleasure to introduce our Secretary General of the National Commission of UNESCO in South Africa, who is joining us today with a very special guest. So I would like to just turn it briefly over to them before we continue. So over to you, Secretary General, and to your very special guest, the Provincial Minister of Education of Limpopo Province.
Thank you very, very much. The camera. Thank you very, very much, Dala. Can we hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Let's see the camera. Can you help us with the camera, please? A sincere apology. You cannot start your video. The host has
disabled us.
The host has disabled us. We wanted the camera.
I am adding you.
Thank you.
There we go. You're welcome.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Thank you very, very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm not going to take time. Today, the opening remarks, as Professor Deendorf has indicated, we have a very special guest. We are speaking from Paris in France, where we were attending UNESCO meetings. We came here with the Provincial Minister of Education of Limpopo, what we refer to as MECs, Honorable Mabungu, Miss Mabungu Lerulela Makanya. She's the one who will make the opening remarks. Over to you, Honorable MEC.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Chair. Let me also take this time and recognize the professors and everyone, both from South Africa and around the world, who is in the meeting. I just want to take this opportunity that you have agreed that I do just few remarks and I'm infringing on the meeting. But when the SG did explain who is part of the meeting, we felt that I should just pass on one message, really. On behalf of, I'm at a level of basic education, just to also say on behalf of the team of MECs at that level, one of the things that we found that UNESCO is doing and which is a strength is all the research work that is being put on, especially on the early childhood and lifelong learning programs with different universities around the world. But also the two-day workshop, two-day meeting, we were also focusing on global partnership. And one of the things that we discovered was that we cannot be able to do it outside universities. So any global partner that we could be identifying is either it's at the AI space, it's at the maths and science and technology, it's either when we're doing our programs around STEM, we will actually need our universities to come closer because one, we have identified the strength on teacher development continuous teacher development, because already we have got teachers that are in the field, and for them to do the reskilling and also to do new programs that allows them to participate in the AI space, it's critical that we partner with different universities. So it is one of the things that we had a discussion on, and we can be proud to report with the GS that we were able to meet Prof. Marwana, and we were privileged. Actually, we still have a session with him. We were privileged to present our issues in terms of connectivity, in terms of programs for learners that can be able to prepare them better for the university. So I felt that is important that I pass on this message that we have recognized the strength in the work that the university is doing as DBE, and in terms of where our teachers really can get support, and as departments we can be able to have graduates that can sit with us, develop documents, develop strategies to enhance what is already existing. So thank you so much that you have allowed me these few minutes to really come and say hi. And I want to take this time to wish you well on your meeting. Like the GS has indicated, not so long we'll be leaving for the airport. So thank you so much. You can just hold for him.
Thank you so very much, Honorable MEC. And thank you, colleagues. Back to you, Vernon.
Thank you so much, Secretary General and Deputy Minister, for those words of welcome. We're so honored that you could join us. And thank you so much, Deputy Minister, also for sharing that important message with us, and also the importance of teacher education and teacher training. So very important, particularly now in our world today. So before I introduce our speaker, let me again welcome all of you to this monthly webinar series we just launched last month with one of our co-chairs who's here with us today, Dr. Precious Semba. And you can find her recording on our chair website along with the one from today. And I want to share, just acknowledge our UNESCO Chair core team. And so grateful to all of them. You've met Werner, who is our chair coordinator. We have, I'm the chairholder, and then we have two co-chairs, Dr. Precious Semba from Stellenbosch University and Dr. Davinia Jitu from Durban University of Technology. And then we're also joined by our other core team lead members from Stellenbosch University, and you see their names listed there. So with that, I wanted to mention that our chair is very committed to identifying and elevating African voices and perspectives on intercultural competence. And one of the ways we're doing that is through this webinar series. Another way we're doing kind of our work within the South Africa, within the continent and the world, is through the facilitation of UNESCO story circles. And invite you to have a look at this open access manual in 7 different languages published through UNESCO. UNESCO story circles are inspired by Indigenous traditions, and it's for the purpose of practicing key intercultural competencies such as listening for understanding. And we do this both in person and online in groups of 4 to 6. And it's both structured yet adaptable, and also very scalable. We've done this with up to several hundred online or in person. And so we invite you to have a look and to contact our chair if you have further questions. One of our partners, the World Council on Intercultural and Global Competence, is actually providing a Train the Trainer on UNESCO Story Circles online next month. It's a global forum, which features a keynote from former UNESCO Deputy General Irina Vakova. So we hope all of you can join for the forum on 22nd through 24th April. And also to join the World Council, it's entirely free to join. And we are especially pleased to have an ICC in Africa working group among other 20 plus other working groups. So we invite all of you to join. And the main feature right now for the ICC Africa working group is that we'll be joined by our speaker from this webinar series and being able to discuss with them a week later and continue the discussion from today. So we hope all of you will join us for that. Okay, so other upcoming events to highlight, our next UNESCO Chair webinar will be at the end of April, April 30th, featuring Dr. Davinia Jetu, who's one of our other co-chairs. I mentioned that the April Global Forum, which we are helping to co-sponsor. So hopefully many of you can join us for that and go through the Train the Trainers for UNESCO Story Circles. And then we are especially excited about our in-person intercultural conference in Rabat, Morocco, the end of September. And the call for proposals has just opened and will be due May 1. So we hope that many of you will be submitting proposals for this in-person conference in Rabat, Morocco. Our inaugural conference was held this past October in Nairobi, which is where we met today's speaker, John Linus. And so it's just an amazing in-person event where we can learn so much more from each other around these crucial topics. The focus of our UNESCO chair, the priorities are looking at the role of intercultural competence in climate action, in gender equality, and in peace building. And I'm delighted that today's webinar focuses on looking at the role of intercultural competence in climate action. And so it's now my great pleasure to introduce to you the speaker for today's webinar, John Linus, who is a dynamic youth leader, climate advocate, and change maker dedicated to empowering young people as catalysts for a sustainable future. And it's so appropriate that we are hearing from a youth voice in Africa, given the important role that youth are playing on the continent today. John is the chairperson of UNESCO Youth Forum Kenya, as well as founder of Green World Youth, which is driving initiatives in leadership, innovation, and climate resilience. He is recognized among the top 500 global climate influencers in 2023, and he has mentored students in 50+ schools worldwide and has nurtured over 1 million tree seedlings. He has a deep interest for intercultural dialogue and believes in the power of diversity to foster peace, collaboration, and progress. And we are so grateful for him championing cultural competencies in the role of climate action. And he is also, I should mention, a young Love Force ambassador, and he inspires youth to honor their roots while shaping a future driven by innovation, inclusivity, and sustainable change. So, John Linus, we are so glad to have you here with us today, and we look forward to what you have to share with us and for the discussion that follows. Welcome.
That's very amazing, and I'm humbled to have you today. And let me just switch off my video for now. I hope everyone has seen my face here. So thanks very much for bringing me on board, and I'm really humbled that I want to speak on youth voices, having a mixture of both the old, the young, and the middle, those who came before us on this call. So it is I'm deeply grateful for the opportunity to speak today, share my insights, share value, and see exactly how best we can move from one one level to the other level. And being that the past dwells in our head, while the future rests in our hands. So we have to make meaningful progress and to learn from the past and celebrate the milestone that we've made, and equally focus on the vision that we have ahead. So that is basically about me. I'm a Love Force ambassador and also a youth leader. I'm deeply passionate about youth empowerment and equally avid environmentalist. That is why I've taken an individual responsibility to preach love, preach peace, and also make sure that no youth is left behind. So you can go to the next slide. That is basically about myself. And the next slide. Yeah, I feel like the intercultural competence dialogue is very much, we need it as urgent as now. And it is a timely conversation that I see a number of youths joining this conversation, see a number of people from different geographical areas joining. So Africa culture and diversity intersect with climate change. And I want to say that youths are the key agents for peace and sustainability. Just like myself, I preach peace and equally preach the need for conserving the environment and the need for collective responsibility. In as the philosophy of Ubuntu, I am because we are. So we are all together for this, and I believe that with this meaningful conversation, we have responsibility to take forward, and we all have a collective role as people, as change makers, as from different levels where we are and from different parts of the world. Next slide, kindly. Yeah, so I feel like we have a number of things to learn, but I just highlighted 3 of them. Yeah, we can start by the other slide, kindly. The one that you've just I feel like sorry, the one you've just highlighted, the one that you've just shared, then you kindly, sorry. Yes. So this is how I'll define intercultural competency from my side. The ability to communicate, collaborate, and empathize across cultural boundaries. I believe that all of us come from different background, and I want to share that from the last year's engagement, we have storytelling, story circles, and it really impacted me because you get to deeply understand person from their different background, and not only understanding the person, you just have to come up with ideas to collaborate and see ways of which you can join hands together. And I believe that there's power in collaboration because, for instance, every youth here bring a unique value. We are differently blessed, gifted with different skills, different abilities. And I believe that if we bring all these skills together, I think we can move together, making sure that no one is left behind. So intercultural competency plays a very crucial role. It fosters peace and resolve conflict. It drives collective action for climate change and also promotes inclusivity and mutual respect. After understanding somebody's culture, someone's way of life, you'll be able to respect and understand every person. Yeah. Next slide. Yes, I feel like there's a need for learning from those who came before us. And seeking the factual African indigenous knowledge is also very important for us to grow together and make sure that no one is left behind. Because why saying so, you'll understand that there are some traditions that promote peace and equally conserve environments. For instance, the traditional practices done by communities like Maasai community in Kenya, even my community from Luo, you'll find that long time ago, Maasai community used to practice rotational grazing, which was very, very good for conservation of the environment. And also they used to nurture different kinds of trees, different kinds of which provide medicine. So they need to pass this knowledge from that generation to our generation, so that we need to understand that there's need for conservation of environment. Kindly another slide. So Ubuntu philosophy, I am because we are. I would like to say, just like when cobwebs unite, they can tie up a lion. So I believe that if people come together and we leverage the information that we have, understanding that young people, we have a lot of technology that we have to embrace. And also we are blessed. I can say that young people have demographic power, we have digital power, we have mobilization power, and also we have youth-led accountability power. So I believe that if we bring all these together, the our different expertise, we can move together as a one nation, one people, one world, and making sure that nobody's left behind. Just like our forefathers, those who came before us were doing. They were conducting a number of traditional ceremony to bring people together. For instance, the Maasai practicing the zero grazing that I explained earlier. And I believe that in this world, no one, as everybody has a unique value. So we have to value each one's culture, understand them deeply, and trying to see how best we can leverage one another and making sure that no one is left behind. And also, I would just like to say that, for instance, the practices that Maasai people were doing, they were carrying out practices that promoting their coexistence with nature. For instance, they were equally protecting the grasses, the legumes, and different species, so that they increase the production of improve the quality of milk, and also make sure that the quality of the pasture that they feed the animals were also good. Another slide, kindly. Yes. So youth as a change agent. I'll like to give a typical example from myself, and also just like emphasizing on the cultural empathy and for dialogue. And also from, for example, with my initiative, Green World Youth, and also UNESCO Youth Forum in Kenya, and what we've been doing. For instance, Green World Youth, I started just like from a WhatsApp group, whereby I brought a number of youth from different parts of the world. Some are equally from South Africa, and we just said that these people should share their stories, share what they are doing from different parts of the world. And with this, I've been using this information they give me, I share in different social media platforms. So with this information that I've been sharing on social media platform, that gave me an opportunity to be ranked at position 202 of 500 global influencers on climate change. And I believe that with that example, I believe that every one of us has a role. If we come together, we can be of change, and the world will be a better place than ever before. And I also want to emphasize that I believe that when the power of love will be greater than the love of power, the world will be a better place to live in. And that is what we are preaching, and that is what I believe in. I believe that with all these active voices that we have on social media, using all the valuable materials that technology has brought us meaningfully, and ensuring that we share the information, we pass the information from one person to another, so that we ensure that no youth is left behind, regardless, understanding that in Africa we experience a lot of challenges, starting from a number of people, I'm not afraid to say that a number of people doesn't trust the youth in Africa, because they feel as that we are causing problem. I don't know why they believe so, but giving example from myself, me acting as the chairperson, serving as the chairperson for UNESCO Youth Forum, we find difficulties in even going to other countries, because somebody just intentionally, other nations trying to just deny you visa for no reason, valid reason, and we feel like we are left behind, and we have voices that need to be heard for a better world. So it is very painful that people doesn't value most African youths. I'm speaking from being example, because I felt bad, even sorry to say this, but I have to say it out, because we need to embrace one another's culture, need to understand every person. I felt bad when I'm denied a visa. I provided all information to attend equally address a very good big conference in the UN in Geneva. Then they tell me that I didn't provide it's called, justification of why I'm attending. So I feel like the global leaders, I call the global leaders to come and try to understand the young people, try to understand that we are problem solvers, we are agents of change, and our voices are we are not just making noise for ourselves, but we are trying to push for the youth, other youths also, to get these opportunities to learn and make sure that we are not left behind. maybe another slide. Yes, I feel like we have a lot of platforms where we can share this information. Being that social media is a big tool that is accessible for many youths, we find that in Kenya, I'm proud of Kenya that we are the most users of social media, and that has been very of great assistance and of great learning opportunity. We use it meaningfully to learn, share information so that other youths also can get opportunities to learn from us who are doing this thing, and also to influence other youths also to take action. So there are a lot of tech tools. A number of people have developed mobile apps to share indigenous knowledge. I'm proud to share that these are an app organized by a youth-led people, young people that share the traditional knowledge, the Vambo AI, using the available technology that we have, the AI. And also, I believe that the virtual platforms, just like these ones, can also promote this conversation. We learn from you, those who came before us, and also we are able to share the unique value that we have, and also acknowledging that you have knowledge that we don't have, and also you people, those who came before us, also respect our ideas. And with that, I know that you have the long-term moral guidance and ethics that you can help us learn. And with that, I know that the community bond will be strengthened, because I believe that when elders feel respected, it builds community bond. And if we respect the elders, they will also respect us. So there's need to share love. There's need to learn from one another, because one of us, everyone bring a unique value, and we all have a role to shape positive narrative, and also to remove all these barriers that hinders young people from living to their full potential. And next slide. Yes, so it requires a collective responsibility for us to grow as holistically, have lots of ideas, and we also learn to, how can I say it? We also need to learn from those who came, as just what I was saying. And also we request, for this to happen, we request governors and NGOs to invest in youth-led initiatives. And because if they invest in our youth-led initiatives, I think we'll be moving forward. And also, as UNESCO, I believe that UNESCO is the intellectual body of UN. I believe that they have the power to integrate the intercultural competence into curriculum. And I believe this can be done. And also, if we, the youth, we take the ownership of our cultural heritage, I'm proud of my culture. If the other person proud of our culture, and we bring all this culture together, it will be a colorful world with different uniqueness, different people bringing different ideas on board. And I believe it is possible with the youth, with different stakeholders in this call. I feel it is very, 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 very important. Next slide. No, before I finish, I would like to say that as Mahatma Gandhi once said, that no culture can live if it attempts to be exclusive. So I feel like there's need to engage youth as partners in the design of different programs, in implementation, and equally in evaluation. And I believe in this call, we have a lot of youths who have joined, and I believe that they will share the information, pass the information to other youths, that there's still need for collaboration. Regardless of these challenges that we face today, I believe these challenges, we can transform them and use them we can use these challenges as stepping stones to a greater heights, making sure that we amplify our voices and meaningfully using the social tools, the available tools that we have, the social media to push the development agenda, and ensure that everyone preach the gospel of peace. So I believe that all this starts with education. And education, be it formal or informal education, plays a very critical role. So because for every development to take place, there is education. Education is the basic and the bedrock for development. So if you teach me something, I learn it, I pass it to the another person. If I learn, because I know that I also have a unique value that you might not be having, I share it with you, you share it with me, and we ensure that every youth, every young person, every person from every corner of the world is doing amazing work. So I'm deeply humbled again to share the little insights that I've just shared. I would have shared that much, but I feel like there are a lot of questions that are coming, and I feel like we can all make this conversation too interesting, and also we can make a world a better place. Let me check. Back to you. Let me check the questions now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, John Linus, for sharing your insights and perspectives. We are so grateful to you. And yes, you have quite a few questions in the chat. And maybe before we get to those, Werner DeWitt, would you like us to do a group photo quickly?
Yes, why not?
We can do that. So if everybody wants to put on their cameras. I just want to get ready, put it on gallery view. There we go. Okay, so if you want to be part of the photo, oh, I must probably put my own camera on. Please smile now. I'm going to take the photo in 3, 2, 1. Let me just take that one. And then I'm going to just go to the other screen. Just hold on. And we will do another one in 3, 2, 1. Smile. There we go. Thank you very much.
Super. Thank you, Werner. Thank you very much. So, John Linus, yes, lots of questions coming for you, even ones like how to join some of the programs you mentioned. If you could share more about your own journey to becoming a youth ambassador and also more about the organizations you work with. So maybe we could start with those.
Yeah, thanks very much for that question. Just I want to be as brief as possible to make sure that the time is covered. So just like, let me start by my traditional. My name is John Linus Otieno. At home, they call me Alino. So with this, I've, just like many other African youths, face a number of problems when they are starting their journey, academic journey, from basic education, high school education, and all these things. So I'm also not excluded. I face a lot of challenges in getting education. I don't want to say that I come from a family that is not able, but the truth of the matter is we were struggling to get 3 meals a day. And also what motivated me is that I was deeply motivated by the people. The level of poverty in the community made me to work harder than any other thing. So I attended primary basic education with all struggles. I joined high school. In high school, I experienced a lot of difficulties. I dropped out of school many times. I attended a course that is expected to be done in 4-year course. I attended in 4 different schools. Then from there, for those different schools, the last school I attended really changed my mindset, because we didn't have privilege of having water in school. We didn't have electricity in school. We didn't have all these basic things that we only had one classroom for the fourth years students, of which one classroom we were 21, and some dropped out until we remained 15 students. So with all these things, the school had a lot of challenges, and this really motivated me to work harder and harder. So in doing our final exam, I was the first person I got a good grade to join campus. I was the best. We were only 3 people who managed to join the campus. And I'm sincerely grateful for that institution, regardless of those challenges. So joining campus, my mindset really changed. I joined because I wanted to bring change back to the community. So I started exploring leadership, from class representative, all trying to navigate my ways. I was schooling very far distance from Nairobi, the capital city. And the school is situated, Moi University is situated not too far to the town, in a rural setup. The conducive environment, there's no noise, pollution, all those. It was very good condition. So that was my first time to go to a learning institution, because those ones we were seeing like there are no facilities. Moi is well equipped with all relevant materials that were able to give you academics that you want. So from there, I was influenced by a number of student leaders, expressed my interest to be a leader. I tried my best. I showed interest to become the university chairperson, the president. Then I didn't make it to the ballot. Then I also chaired the election process as the chairperson for student election council. So from there, my leadership started developing. Then sincerely, I've embraced innovative voluntarism. I volunteered with a number of organizations, some of which I connected. I used social media to connect with them. I just follow them online, express myself, just say I'm John Linus, studying at Moi University. I'm interested in working. Some of the organizations, I didn't know even what they are doing, but I was just trying to reach out to them, trying to learn what they are doing. And with that, I connected with a number of people across the world. So with this kind of connection, I've managed to learn different skills. Then from my background, I'm a video environmentalist. I said, let me focus on climate issues and trying to advocate for climate. Then from there, I formed that WhatsApp group that I was saying. From the WhatsApp group, I share the links in different platforms that I joined. I first joined a Pan-African group called I Love Black People. I love Black people, and I love Black people. We add a lot of people from different countries. So I will reach into their inboxes, telling them that I'm John Linus, reaching out to learn from you. I'm from Kenya, I'm a student. So some reach out, get back to me, some were not getting back. But I felt like I learned a lot from them. And with that, I joined a number of organizations. I volunteered at UNEP, Children and Youth Major Group to UNEP, Global Compact on Climate Action, UNESCO. I started volunteering with the IBE, the National Bureau of Education, UNESCO, before knowing even that there exists NATCOM, Kenya National Commission for UNESCO. Then they connected me to UNESCO regional office. Regional office guided me what UNESCO do. They connected me to NATCOM. So from then, I joined UNESCO Youth Forum. With the UNESCO Youth Forum, I'm proud to say that I've really learned a lot. I've really gotten a lot of exposure through virtual conversation, physical engagements. And with all these things, I was proudly given an humanitarian award of the good work that I've been doing, and it motivated me. Then also, I was nominated as Love Force Ambassador for the good work that I've been doing, and I received an award last year in India, and still trying to bring a number of youths on board, trying to preach the good news, the good news of collective responsibility. And I'm equally proud that with all those experiences, with all those difficulties, I'm equally graduating on Friday this week at Moi University. And the school also is proud of me because of the good work that I've done while still in school. And I'm not just graduating I'm graduating with a good grade of 68 points, second class upper, just 2 points to first class. And this is school has really helped me. And that is the power of education. So from this, I feel like I need to share a lot of information with a lot of students, give them hope that every steps is everything you do counts in future. And the more you are consistent, and the more you remain relevant with your conversation, though there are a lot of difficulties, a lot of challenges, but you have just to use them as a stepping stone to the journey ahead. So I'm proud today that I'm speaking to fellow young people who came before me, and I'm equally ready to learn more, ready to share the good news, and ready to bring my value on board. So it is really humbling, and I feel I feel privileged and very much humbled. Yes, back to you. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, and for sharing your own personal journey. Congratulations on your graduation coming up. Thank you for sharing that and letting us celebrate with you. That is amazing. And then also thank you for sharing your lessons learned. That's really important for the rest of us to hear as well. So thank you very much. So yes, lots of other questions. So from one colleague, let me get this one. Margaret Nankinga has a question on environment protection in my culture, and probably many African cultures, was embedded in taboos, with the punisher for breaking a taboo being a supreme being, a god. Today, taboos have been replaced by policies and laws. Which do you feel would be more effective?
Yes, I feel like let me respond from my perspective. I feel like there is need to involve communities and different people, different stakeholders when designing these policies, because most of the time we find that in this high level conversation, a lot of indigenous people, marginalized group are left out, and I feel too sad. That is why I took an initiative as a personal level to bring as much youth as possible, those who reside in marginalized community, to even come to UN compound, even not only just to take photos, but to listen to these conversations that are happening. And I'm proud that being given the responsibility as the chairperson, I'm really trying to advocate for every person to be brought on board, because I feel like there is a lot of information that even the high level panel need to get from the people who resides, who dwell or who domicile in these marginalized communities or marginalized places, and they need to be respected, and they just bring a good a very polite way to create awareness of need for environmental conservation, and also acknowledging that not all traditional practices are all good. There are some communities that are still practicing harmful practices like FGM. They need to be taught that this is very harmful, the dangers of FGM, and in a more polite, more good, polite way, so that the community feel involved. So there's a lot of need for us young people who have the information. Just we can meaningfully use social media platforms to amplify this conversation, to make sure that the policy makers, all these people, not that they also need advice, but I feel like most of them are not ready to listen to most young people. So we'll just try to amplify our voices until that day when all of us will feel like we are incorporated, and try the most important thing we can do is just to amplify for inclusion of these marginalized communities, inclusion of all different stakeholders, so that no one is left behind, and every information should be provided on a global stage. I think that will be my response to that question.
Okay, thank you
Back
very
to you.
much. Anita Dean Carlin has a question. How can we ensure that the practice and culture of living on less is also recognized as a powerful message towards the more economically dominant cultures?
Yes, that is a very sensitive and a good question. And for Kenya UNESCO Youth, I want to give it from our own perspective, and to thank our Kenya National Commission for UNESCO for the good work they've been doing. We usually have a youth workshop on culture heritage. So with this, what we've been doing is that we have conferences in these different areas with different culture, different regions in Kenya, whereby we bring different youth from all corners of all in Kenya we call counties, we call district counties, and we bring all youths network from these counties. So in these networks, we share our culture, what we do, from just like the story circles. We share different perspective, different cultures, and doing this sharing, it is now an individual responsibility for us who feel like we have the information. we have at least seen the light, and also trying to amplify what need to be done. So I feel like the most powerful tool that we have right now as young people is the power of social media and the power of online presence. So if we meaningfully use social media, I feel all these things that we need will be we will get them. Just like not on a bad, it's just like from Kenya. I'm very proud of Kenyan youths because and we are the most optimistic youth in the world, in Africa. I can prove, because regardless of these challenges that we are passing through, we are always optimistic. If you tell me this, I know next time I'll get it. And we've used the power of social media so much to make sure that our leaders get to understand us. And also what I'll call for our youth is before we media literacy, before we send this information online, I feel like we need to know, before we tap the send button, we need to analyze what exactly are we sending online and what implication will it bring online. Is it educative, or it is something that will go on cause problems, to cause chaos and bring conflict? And what is the relevance of this thing that I'm posting online? So with this, if we have all media information, we have media information literacy and how to package our information as we share them online, of which I feel we need a lot of training in line with that. And I feel with the power of, with UNESCO, different partners who have joined here, I think we can have something in common to share with the youth. What we need is just information and guidance. And we give our different strengths. So from that, I believe that all of us still have a responsibility. And if we all come together, believe me, everything will be okay. Yeah. So we have to think beyond the box, and we have to work harder and smarter, as now more than ever. Yeah. Back to you.
Yes, so there's a question on how to join the UNESCO Youth Forum and the other organizations that you were mentioning.
Yes, that's a very good question. So I feel like just like other forums, UNESCO Youth Forum is just one platform. We have UN Habitat Youth Sounding Boards, we have UNDP Youth Sounding Board, we have all these youth-led organizations. And I feel like every youth should be part of one. At least if you're not part of UNESCO, you need to be part of even UNEP, youth, Children's Youth Major Group to UNEP, or you just need to be in another, even be part of my initiative, Green World Youth. So why am I out to join this thing is very easy. The first, you have to demonstrate that you have a unique value you are going to bring on board. Because people right now build value. We bring you on board as UNESCO Youth Forum because we know you will help us amplify the good news. We can't just bring you on board to join, just call yourself a member and you're not contributing. Another thing is that for UNESCO, we always open online application to be part of us. The last time we open up application, we received more than 5,000 applicants, and we only needed 100 youths. So that is an implication that we are doing amazing work and people want to join our team. And there's room for them, all of them, because what I did as the chairperson, I created a database of all these people. If any case there is all the information like trainings, opportunity, we usually share with them in their emails. Once in a while, we reach out to them at a personal level. We just call them. We don't tell them that you applied to be part of UNESCO Youth Forum and we're inviting you for this. We just reach out to them, telling them, are you interested in this? Kindly come over. And those who came and participate in these events, we give them opportunity and bring them as our team. Not necessarily to tell them that you're part of UNESCO, but the value that you share will definitely brings you to a platform where you will be fully incorporated and fully enjoy. And I believe that the most important thing I'll tell them is that social media has been a very big, powerful tool right now. Because at times you are told that share your link to social media platforms when you do these applications, because we want to know exactly what you are able to do and what you'll be able to do and your passion. So I'll challenge every youth that if you are not, digital presence is not there, kindly try, even at the end of this conference, at the end of this webinar, try to post that today I attended this UNESCO Chair Intercultural Competence Conference. I picked this 1, 2, 3 information. And from this information, share online, pass the information to those who didn't know that we had this conversation, because you are privileged that you're part of this and you've taken your time to learn something. And if we all do this, I feel like the most important that youth need information to get to know. After information, we need guidance and mentorship, of which I'm sure a number of people who have joined this platform can equally mentor us. Me personally, I'm ready for mentorship. If you're ready to mentor me, I'm ready to learn from you. If you mentor me, I'll mentor other youths. And the chain will continue, and making sure that no youth is left behind here.
And that
Thank you.
answers one of the questions that we had already about how can those of us who may not fall into the youth category, how can we support youth? So it sounds like mentorship is certainly a key way to do that. And also I see that Kabi Patel from Nepal posted a link about how others can join the Youth and Student Network from UNESCO. So thank you very much for posting that. And we invite other youth who are with us today to post so that we can connect with you as well. We would welcome being able to connect with you, any of you all, through LinkedIn. I know our UNESCO chair would be quite interested in joining and connecting with you, especially in regard to our upcoming conference in Morocco. And I think we'll give the last question to Ebenezer Hansen, who has his hand raised. Over to you, Ebenezer.
Yeah, hello. First, I take the opportunity to thank Linus for his insightful and informative presentation. Yes, and also to congratulate him on his persistency, despite the challenges he had finally got through with his university education. Yes, then thirdly, I identify with the point he made about knowledge passed on by our forebears. Indeed, in Ghana, now there are many communities where there are specific days that they don't go for fishing. They don't visit some rivers and streams. And some of these measures were put in place for preservation. But with time, many thought they were linked to superstition and paganism, and many of them were left behind. But it is good that we preserve some of those knowledge, such information passed on by indigenous leaders. Now, lastly, this on a lighter note. Now, Linus made the point that the youth of Kenya, they are the most forward-looking, etc. But I'm wondering how he came by that conclusion. Is there any research? Well, Ghanaians who claim same, Nigerians who claim same, South African youth who also claim same. So that's the question in the lineup.
Okay, question to Linus.
Thanks very much for that quite good question. The other day we had a consultation, a program with China Kenya Youth Conversation. It was a physical event. We had youth from China and youth from Kenya. So the Chinese youth were telling us that Kenyans are very optimistic. The most optimistic country youth in the world is Kenya. And sincerely, why am I saying I'm proud of Kenyan youth is that in all these high-level conversations, you'll see that yes, we understand all these African youths are also making efforts, and have to acknowledge that they are all providing unique skills, they are providing unique expertise, and Kenyan youths have shown a lot of aggressiveness when it comes to conversations around realization of sustainable development goals. I feel like they've been pushing here and there, acknowledging all these high-level conversation. You'll find that they try to get to there regardless of the challenges of, and a number of them are participating in this. I don't know why, because we are blessed to have host a number of UN organizations, but I feel like we are doing a lot, and we also request, or not just request, invite or involve, bring other African countries, other Africans youth. We share our own experiences. The main reason why I said that, I want other African countries to connect with us more and more, so that they learn from us the positive things that we are doing, not just learning everything. And also we tap equally the meaningful things that they're doing in their respective countries, so that Africa be a greater continent. And I believe that, just like the comment, one day I'll be the next Mandela of Africa. Who knows? And if we push together, another person from Ghana was also the next Kwame Nkrumah, the next folk, another person in Kenya, the next Kenyatta of Kenya. So that at least at the end of the day, we find that people say that there lived John Linus. He did this and this, and he had some brains. So we have to push. We have no alternative but to push harder, acknowledging all those challenges. And I invite all African countries, all African youth, let's unite together, let's share knowledge, let's learn from one another. And I assure you that if we do that, we'll be much ahead, and influence a lot of policies that will be here.
What a wonderful
Thank you.
note to end on. Thank you so much, John Linus. As we all continue to learn from each other, we've learned so much from you today. We are so grateful to you for sharing your insights and your work as a youth ambassador, and the role that intercultural competence can play in the work of climate action. And so we are just so grateful to you and to all of you for joining today. We do encourage you to come back and continue the conversation next week with the ICC in Africa Working Group. Werner, did you want to say a few words about that?
Sorry, I was just
yeah.
trying to. I'm sharing the screen, and my mouse was on the other screen.
Sorry.
Yes, so please join us next week if you want to know more about it. I'll just put up that slide again for joining the World Council. But you can please join us. We usually 1 week later after these webinars, we have a ICC in Africa working group. Where we get together, we invite the speaker back, and we continue this conversation, ask more questions, and it's a much more engaging dialogue. It's also a platform for you to meet other people that's also passionate about intercultural competence on the African continent. But you do not need to be from the African continent to join us there. It's really a platform for everybody to share and to learn from each other. So please feel free to join us, and you can see the information on how to join. Thanks, Donna.
Super. Thanks, Werner. So we hope to continue this conversation next week. There were so many other questions that we didn't get to today, John Linus, including the role of Harambe in climate action. There's so much more that we could explore. A reminder again to all of you to consider submitting a session for the UNESCO Chair Intercultural Conference coming up in Rabat, Morocco at the end of September, and that deadline is May 1st. And then we also look forward to seeing all of you back here next month on April 30, when we will hear from one of our co-chairs, Dr. Davinia Jitu, who is based at the Durban University of Technology. So huge thanks to all of you. And on behalf of our UNESCO chair team at Stellenbosch University, we are so grateful to be able to come together and to have these kinds of conversations. Please do continue keeping in touch, and we look forward to seeing you again next month. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.